Hi,
Hi, friends.
Well, we're starting with a serious topic
Yes,
today, so
yes.
I hope you all had a great weekend, and thanks
Yes.
for joining us. We have a lot of important things happening in Houston, and so we wanted to update you on that and talk a little bit about it as friends.
Yes, definitely. So people across Texas and all over the world really are honoring the late Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee this week, all week. We do know that President Joe Biden will be in town later to pay his respect, and she is known across the nation. I know obviously major impact here in the Houston area. We were all just so surprised because we found out that she had pancreatic cancer about a month ago before her passing. And we didn't see her out in the public, which she is very much involved in the public, a pillar in the community. It doesn't matter what side you are in the political spectrum. You always knew that she was going to be there and voice her opinion and be there for the people.
And take real action to
Yes.
help people in the community that needed help.
Yes.
We saw her host so many drives, so many toy drives at the holidays, pandemic drives, anything you can imagine. She
Right.
always tried to serve a need.
And it was so, when I first started here, I would MC events and she would be at every single one of them. And she always spoke at them. She had a proclamation or something, but she was just very involved. And I think that one of the things we did when she did pass, we did talk about her on the Rashi show, just as a woman being strong amongst so many men who predominantly are the state lawmakers. I just think that she does have this voice and this power, and just a trailblazer. And I think that's what
I was just going to say, she really is, because we talk a lot about different people in the community, but she is one example that literally was a trailblazer.
Yes.
I was just reading up on her because we're going to be doing a lot of coverage, and she was actually the first class of undergraduate females at Yale in 1972, and she got her bachelor's then in political science and then went on to get her law degree in 1975. And this was at a time when women weren't going to school, and certainly not black women. So she was, when we say trailblazer, she really is like a true meaning of a trailblazer for women. It's so impressive. I mean, I have 2 pages of lists just on her, what she's done. It's very remarkable.
It is. And just as a parent myself, she has 2 children, 2 grown children, very successful. So all day today, Sheila Jackson Lee is lying in state at Houston City Hall, and this will be the case until 7 p.m. tonight. Now, we do know that there's so many more things that are happening to celebrate her life. We are going to be live on our live stream, also Fox Local, which might be the platform that you use to watch us, which we really do appreciate. And we will be streaming live President Joe Biden coming here to pay his respects. That will be later tonight. Now, we do know tomorrow there's a viewing and remembrance ceremony happening at God's Grace Community Church. And then there'll also be a viewing on Wednesday at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church, followed by a community farewell and appreciation service. And for those of you that don't know, she did get diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and she died July 19th. She was just 74 years old. And I know that she would have been very active until the very, very end. And it's just a life cut so short because she was doing so much. Regardless if you agreed or disagreed with her, she was involved, and
this goes
remarkable.
back, we know her as the Congresswoman, but she served 2 terms on Houston City Council and was one of the first black females to be in that role. The list goes on and on and on. And for me, coming into Houston almost 2 years ago, she was very effective at her job, because I always say I knew who she was before I even came here. And there are people in Congress that you know, that are loud and make their names known, but something about her and the way that she worked Congress was effective, I feel. Like, people knew who she was. She made her voice heard. She would always appear on national broadcasts. That's probably how I knew who she was in the first place, which is from national news coverage. And so I did get to interview her a few times in my year and a half here, and she, even in interviews, was very effective, very strong, very bold, wasn't afraid to say what needed to be said.
Well, what she spoke her mind, and that's why the community here is celebrating her life because of all the accomplishments that she made. And we have a lot of dignitaries here in Houston right now. We will have a lot more throughout the week. So we'll be keeping you posted on Fox 26 News, which you can see on Fox Local, or you can see on our website, fox26houston.com.
The vice president also, Kamala Harris, now the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party, is going to be here as well, I think Thursday. So it's just the president's coming.
Right, right.
I mean, that just speaks for itself right there. So we will have all that live coverage for you as the evening goes on, but we'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Ooh, Lord, the amount of time I spend in my car. Like I eat dinner in my car.
You keep it so clean.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm so impressed. I don't know how you have two kids and you eat in your car. I do none of that. I have no kids in my car, and I rarely eat in my car, and it's a disaster half the time.
Well, it's also just a mental thing, because you know how I am with like just keeping everything neat and tidy. But anyway,
I hate going to the car wash, and oh my God, I just hate it. So
I actually really like the car wash.
Do you?
Yes, because then the car is just like, it's like, do you like getting your teeth cleaned?
I actually do.
Okay, I do not at all. Like, I would rather donate blood than get my teeth cleaned.
I do, because I'm like, I want my teeth to be so perfect. And
yes, but like they put the bib on you, and they and then they talk to you while they're.
I mean, I wouldn't say I like it, but I understand that it serves an important purpose. Therefore, I willingly go.
Yeah. See, I unwillingly go. Like they're calling me, rescheduling.
No.
Yes, I know.
You're one of them.
I am one of them.
You have a fun dentist too.
Yes, but I hate the whole process. Nothing against the dentist. It's just the whole process. I don't like it.
I mean, there are some fields that I'm just like, you have to be a special kind of person to want to look in people's mouths all day. And
or like an obstetrician gynecologist. Mm-hmm. I could not do that.
I mean, you have to be like a real special human being to want to go in people's mouths and other area. Surgeon, just like general surgeons, cutting people open and fixing things. Like,
but here's
y'all
the
are
thing.
special.
Any type of doctor you are, you have to go through all this residency.
So you can kind of weed out what you like and what you don't like.
But you have to look at all of it.
You do, yeah. You have to
That's
experience
why
a little bit of both, and then you can decide. But yeah, I mean, I know lots of doctors, and one knew she wanted to be a surgeon, and dang it, she's becoming a surgeon.
Good for her.
I'm like,
good for her.
What about the sounds? Like, what if you have to break a bone or like?
Yeah.
She's like, I love it.
Yeah. See, okay. No. Anyway, let's talk about this. So, when you hear self-care, do you think of spending your time in your car? Well, sometimes all you need to do to relax is get into your car, put on some music, and just sit. I can't tell you how many times I have just done just that. Conversations about the joys of car time have gone viral on social media, and therapists say this is totally understandable. Cars are quiet and a safe space, the perfect recipe for rest, which is also why, like, when I get rid of my car and go to another car, it's like this breakup. Like,
yeah,
I talk to my car.
Well, and I told you, because you have a longer drive into work, I kind of miss, I used to drive between 20 and 25 minutes my whole life until I got this job. And I miss that time to like decompress. I'd call my sister, call a friend, just like listen to a podcast.
Yes.
I don't have that anymore. And I'm like, man, I kind of miss setting out. Also, I was on TikTok yesterday and I came across a video basically about how it's funny how in the United States, so many of us, we eat in our car and we use our car as like a space to kind of decompress. I guess that's not as common in other countries. And I learned from this video that like people love filming social media videos in their car. It's completely normal.
Oh,
and I was like, you know, it fits into what you're saying though, because if you need a break, you might sit in your car and eat your dinner, kind of warm up, and then come back in. And it's like totally, everyone does that here. Not like a lot of people do that.
Oh, I do it. Yes, I do it. And the thing is, like, going back home, which is crazy. So my drive's about 30 minutes. I don't even put on the music sometimes. Sometimes I'm so zoned out or like just so like what just happened today.
And we're talking the whole time that we're here pretty much, and it's a lot going on during the show. So sometimes just being in the silent car.
It's just like I have anxiety about what we're about to do. Like we're going to be in the 5 and in the 6. Yeah. And then we have continuing coverage in the live stream.
I know. I'm like, I need to eat a snack before I go.
Well, not just that, but then we also are live with the YouTube.
Oh, it's
right?
going to be a lot.
And so I can't even. But then we're talking about this funeral. But then we're also going to.
Well, that's why I'm
Caroline and Rashi
taking all these notes and just mentally getting prepared, because I don't know how much time we're going to have to just fill with ad-libbing and everything. And it's like.
Yeah, but I'm talking about me personally, like just talking about the funeral, then talking about how this mom was charged who gave birth to her child, dumped her in a dumpster, and then we're going to talk about Chipotle and their sizes and their portion control. Like it's a lot, and I can't even like just be, because there's a YouTube camera or a TikTok camera.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about that. I don't know how appropriate that is when we're talking about all that stuff to be like live behind the scenes.
Yes, I mean it just.
It adds a layer on us.
That's why my car is my sanctuary, because I go in and I just sit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not comfortable with that either. It
I'm
adds
not saying
a layer.
I'm not saying that you are. I'm just
in a car.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying everybody has their way to deal.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Like, so usually I call my husband. Like sometimes I'm like, I just can't even, like, because I'm just trying to process what the hell just happened.
Normally I'll like call my sister because she's 2 hours behind us, so that's usually a good time to catch her.
That's good. I wouldn't call my sister. She stresses me out.
My sister stresses me out sometimes.
But you're like
today.
Okay, well, what?
Yeah. I used to call my boyfriend because he lived in California. Yeah. So as soon as I got off, it was like immediately like call him. But now he lives in Houston. So
that's.
Yeah, he's usually asleep. So I kind of miss it. I'm like, I kind of miss this whole long distance, like calling you as soon as I know. It was fun. It was like as soon as I got off, like call. And yeah, I can't do that anymore.
Well, You can always call me. Yeah. I mean, but we're going through the same thing, so it's like we need a break.
I know, but
we just want to talk about nothing. The silence is great.
Or like a wellness podcast with a voice that is calming, like Jay Shetty.
Yes. Oh yeah, that would be great. You know, the wonderful thing is that we work with amazing people. So like,
do we? No, just kidding. Yes, we do.
We do. So we
do. I love you. I love you all.
I love you. I love you. Well, the thing is that like if you're not 100%. Like I can just feel it.
Yeah.
And I just like.
No, we have the best team. I love our team.
And like Anthony's the same way. Like he's like, no, don't you have to, you know. And so
we're always laughing on the, like with our directors or producers.
Yes,
or something
they're
funny.
Awesome too.
But that's whenever, this is where the stress comes in. If we are doing a behind the scenes live, okay, and then we just talked about a bunch of serious stuff, but then there's so much stuff going on in our ear. And so then if we laugh, but we had just covered a story, we're off air, but we're behind the scenes, like, it's just layers of stress.
It's hard because...
Or if I have a question about something that maybe an audience shouldn't hear because it might, you know...
Right.
I don't know an example of that, but sometimes we have to ask like really, really bad questions.
Well, I mean, it's just like...
Do we have confirmed that this person is dead? Is the person dead? Is this a fatal? Or do we know for, like, and it just, but like, the way it comes off is so
crass.
Yeah.
So it's different. Anyway, this is just the behind the scenes, just us friends talking about what we do.
Yeah,
but
so it's like, I don't know.
You know, it's
hard.
Yeah, I think that we'll all get through it together. That's all that matters. Okay, stay tuned because I can't wait to show you the next thing that's going to make you smile. All right, friends. Well, the United States is leading the pack with 12 medals, 3 golds to go along with 6 silver and 3 bronze. So I'm like, okay, it's Olympic season. What do I do? Have 2 kids. Let's get creative. So this is what we did. You can roll the video. We picked a country, and then we learned about the country. Daniel was Djibouti. I didn't even know that was, yeah. And then we had our own Olympic Games. And that's what we played this weekend, and it killed a lot of time. I was Team France. Liana was Team Australia. And so we talked in that language, like tried to, and all those things. And I think it was just a great way to get them involved. And now they have some information about these countries, and they were tired.
Love that. How fun.
Yes. There was some fighting too.
Oh,
but this was
Olympics.
She dressed herself, by the way. This was not me dressing her. She dressed herself. But yes, so this is the video that I was going to show. But how cool are the Olympics? Like, I love talking about them because we love the Olympic Games. And I know that there's some controversy about the opening ceremony. We won't have to get into that because people are on both sides of the equation on that. I miss the old Olympic ceremonies is what I'll say, because I think that it was just, you know why? It's because people they weren't talking about the opening ceremony then. They were talking about the actual athletes.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of become something more than that. And so
I saw a great video. I saw a great video on social media of someone who was actually on the river where all the boats were going, and they showed like what the audience is actually seeing, what it's actually like here versus what you're seeing on TV.
Really?
And it was like so sad. It was not, because a lot of the dancing and a lot of that other stuff was taking place not on the river where all the boats were going.
Oh.
And so their audience is pretty far, right? These boats are on the river. And so they're literally seeing these boats go by, and like you can they're way out there and you can like see the flag, and that was about the extent of it from where a lot of the audience was sitting in that area. And this person who was showing the behind the scenes was showing people just leaving, and because the action wasn't right there. There was like a fountain and some lights, and then the boats would go around, but a lot of the action was at another location. And it's all coming together on our TV screens at home, but I guess in person, the area where all the boats were going wasn't all that exciting.
The opening ceremony, I mean, it was pouring.
Yeah,
right?
Well, that too. There were ponchos, and people were just getting frustrated standing out in the rain.
Right. I do really like what NBC has done with the 4-screen shot that they have sometimes, so you're not missing anything when it comes to whichever Olympic sport that you want to watch. And I think it's just, I don't know, it's nostalgic because you watch it growing up, right? Like, I always wanted to be Dominique Moceanu when I watched the gymnastics team when I was younger. And I think that it just shows sportsmanship and all the good things about being in sports and teamwork and just having a lot of pride for your country.
Yeah, I loved watching gymnastics, of course, because we are just huge Simone Biles fans.
Yes.
In the whole city of Houston and the United States of America.
Yes.
And there's so many other talented gymnasts on that team as well. I watched a lot of the gymnastics. We were watching basketball. We watched some of the open ceremonies.
I watched some of the water volleyball. Is that?
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Interesting.
And now breakdancing is a thing too. I don't know if that's already happened, but like that's
so
a
cool.
sport too. But
I was watching also the host of Call Her Daddy, that podcast.
Okay.
She's doing a Watch with Alex Cooper on the NBC app, and so I checked that out. I was just checking it all out, just kind of trying to see what's going on, what are they doing, how many celebrities are there. The fact that Lady Gaga posted Simone Biles' whole beam routine from the audience, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, literally, Lady Gaga's like videotaping Simone and then posted on Instagram. I'm like.
And then Celine. Wow. She was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing all
I need to go back and watch that. I watched only a clip of it.
Well, it's so good knowing what she's gone through and is going through currently with her stiff person syndrome. I think that's anyway, whatever the word is, but she's going through it, and she's like still just plugging away, and it's just it was iconic. Kelly Clarkson, she choked up while she was commentating with a couple of others, and so she was like, I just can't even talk. And Kelly Clarkson's show was on our air, and I was like, oh well, it's a taped show.
Well, it was a good thing that someone I knew had that app though, because I personally wouldn't have got it for this.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
But, yeah, I mean, I was glad I got to see everything.
Yes, and I will tell you that the Ambanis, who they're the ones that had that lavish Indian wedding, they were there at the Olympics.
Oh my gosh,
like they just got married. Like
there were so many influencers at the gymnastics competition.
Oh, really?
Well, are people of influence like Ariana Grande, Tom
Oh,
Cruise,
yes.
Dog,
Right.
with Simone on his shirt.
Also, can we talk about Beyonce introducing the team? She was so good. Even JD's like, OMG. Like, she goes, our nation is all these things. And like, I guess the most negative word during the description of the U.S., if you could say negative, was complicated. Like, she didn't, like people say the United States is divided and this and that and all these things. Like, whenever you're talking about anything negative about the U.S., I'm not saying that here's what I'm trying to say is like she had great descriptions. The only like possible negative was that it's complicated. So, that's but we are still the greatest nation in the world.
Yeah, I feel like if around the Olympics and just around a lot of things, we're so united, and it's such a good way to bring everyone together.
Right.
I mean, all these athletes are so talented. I'm in awe with every single sport. I mean, there's that rugby player. She's popping off.
Yes.
I've never watched rugby before, and I'm like, I want to watch rugby now because she's so funny.
And I love the patriotism to the countries that they have for their own countries, like regardless of what their country is going through. I feel really bad that like when I am though rooting for Team USA, I'm almost like cheering when the other countries mess up. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so mean, but I mean that's competition.
What it is, yeah.
It is. That's competition.
People. I guess maybe I feel more bad about it in like the more individual sports.
Oh yes, yeah.
Like some of the gymnasts for France kind of faltered, and I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, God, that's so mean. Like these poor people. But I'm like,
it is what
USA.
It is. It is what it is.
I mean, you don't want to see anybody mess up, but it's like you get so like it's just into like a football game. It becomes like a football game where you're really cheering for your team and you're cheering when the other team messes up. But I guess it's a little weird for individuals.
Yeah,
well, it's kind of like for golf. Like sometimes I am cheering against a player if I don't want them to win.
That's okay.
Yeah, I just feel bad.
It's all in fun.
I know,
you're not
it's all in fun.
Hurting the person. You're just like, it's just.
I feel bad though because I think of them as a person.
Yeah. No,
it's like, oh my gosh, I just cheered and they literally fell.
And they literally, but you didn't make them fall.
It's
so
true.
You didn't push the other people.
It's like watching ice skating, and it gets down to the finals and like USA is in it. And it's like, oh yeah, that one fell.
Yeah. That's okay. What would you say?
I don't know. I feel like I should like say a prayer for them.
Oh,
like the fourth thing, but go USA.
Gosh, yeah. Yes. I can't wait until Caroline is a mom and her child's in some competitive sport, and she's gonna be like, no, and then you're not gonna be like praying for the other team.
I know.
You're gonna be like so competitive.
But anyway, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
So, we'll continue probably talking. There's gonna be so many viral.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So we'll keep them updated on here.
Thanks, friends, for watching. We'll see you next time.